and me, and us, and them, and the collective pulse of the universe beating in one beat. My name is Tyler, aka Soup Light Show. We're gonna get into into some major history here, and talk about. Before we get into fun stuff, I want to talk about lights and how we got here, right? So shadow puppets, Han Dynasty, as we all know, right? Classic. Using your hand to kind of show. I gotta actually set my timer so I don't go too. There's more at the end. This is just kind of the moosh. Putting something in front of light and making a visual thing out of it. Right? We all know that. We've done the bunny rabbit. We've all done the dog, all that stuff. Moving farther into the future here, there's been records of puppet shows accompanied in medieval Europe, 5th century or so. I know what you're all thinking. There's been records of, puppet shows in India and Greece far before that. I know, we're all thinking it. The reason I'm touching on Europe in the 5th century specifically is ergot. What is ergot? It's a grain poisoning from fungus on poorly stored rye. Super fun stuff. This is kind of the classic, it's on par with leprosy. It's a really fun thing, right? But it's from a fungus, right? And this fungus has created all these awful things on people's bodies, hallucinations, mass hysteria. There's a chance that these are linked to the Salem witch trials. Now, we all know, too, that this is America, right? As much as people want to pin that on some other thing, there's nothing more American than hating people different than you. So I don't know if that's true or not, so we'll see. Now, what was the big, what are we talking about, ergot? What's that to do anything with anything? Well, the active ingredient in ergot is lysergic acid. Does anybody know what that is? Lysergic acid diethylthymide, blah, 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 blah. Synthesized by Dr. Albert Hoffman in 1938, and then later ingested on April 19th, 1943, Bicycle Day for all we celebrate. And then it got, the 60s happened, Ken Kesey, ringing bells, right? One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Sometimes a Great Notion. Neil Cassidy drove the bus for further. You could truly have a whole discussion on this interesting thing and just talk about that the whole time. But the reason this whole thing started out is because Ken Kesey and the other merry pranksters wanted to show the world this miracle drug, right? They wanted to show, we turn people on, right? They want to turn people on to this thing, so they did an acid test. An acid test for a multimedia art exhibition. The Grateful Dead was the house band. That's how they got their start, is through this. It's kind of like LSD and light shows and the Grateful Dead are kind of like physics and calculus, where you need to think about them in the same thing, right? They feed back to themselves. So then that touches into the real point while we're here, the counterculture. And that's where I come in. Well, I wasn't here for the 60s, but I'm here right now to celebrate something that was a big part of the 60s, and it was the liquid light show. Essentially making some trippy, cool, weird things and playing some music on top of it. Getting really far out, man. Grateful Dead, Frank Zappa up there, Santana, all these different, this is a thing, right? I'm sure you've all seen this. So what we're going to do is we're going to now, I've got a thing back here, we're going to play with the fun stuff. That's really the presentation. This is the preamble. I have to do like a little, hey, you got a band, or you want to put some goofy stuff on your tongue, or maybe eat some fungus, let me know, we can shoot some light beams around it. Okay, now we can hit the lights. accompanying jams here as well. So what is a liquid light show anyway? Right? We've all been to school. Oh, great. We've all been to school. We all have these. This is an overhead projector, right? All that is shining something through something onto the wall. And I have this one here. It's a little dirty, so forgive me. What I'm going to start with is I'm going to put out a plate, right? Clear plate, clock glass historically. I have glass plate on top of it, so shove that here. I'm setting this on top. Essentially, I can spin things, right? I can do whatever we'll cover more things. You can do with that in a second. The things I wanted to show you right now. A big part of liquid light show stuff is not necessarily liquid. It's about every part of the medium, right? So I have so many dead grandmother's ashtrays. Petri dishes. This thing here is I think it's one today. Sorry, y'all. This is what we're going to show this guy. Hey, that's kind of cool. You can spin that one. Really get cool. You get some prism, you get some clear. Whoa! What the? Reefer Madness, man! That's a great crowd laser. What else do we have here? Like the negative strips.
Just like imagine like a
plastic. These are a big part of the liquid light show scene. These are moires or transparencies. We're going to do some multiplication here in a bit. You guys can all do some tables or colors. I just put that bad boy down. I can spin it. And that looks pretty neat. You don't focus in on that.
proper use of it. So love to look at it. So I'm happy about this guy. I felt how it's
like DMT, the spirit molecule, man. I'm a government employee, so I'm not going to tell you, and you don't have to tell me either. But if you get hand raised, if there's been any aficionados or people that have tried this miracle drug that we talked about earlier, hey! Open boys, the cops are coming! No, I'm back, I'm sorry. Imagine doing this your first time ever. You're a 1960s person that moved from Nebraska out to San Francisco. You're making a name for yourself on the Berkeley, and you put some goofy stuff on your tongue, and all of a sudden, you gotta fight this being. What else are we gonna do? We are gonna show some. Okay, here we go. I've got some glycerin. Alcohol now. So really, the whole bit of a liquid light show, we're getting to the actual liquid now. Okay? The whole idea behind it is you've got 6th grade, right? We all took science class, and you have that jar with different oils, and you have different dyes. They don't mix. Why? Intensity! Yeah! Alright. That's all we're doing right now. So I have, this is glycerin, okay? We're going to pour that on here. Probably more than I could put on there. The best part is cleaning all this stuff up. It's so fun. So this is glycerin. I have, again, we're setting up the table. We're setting the meal for your liquid light show here. This isn't true classic liquid light show. This is my own personal favorite thing. So I've got a bunch of alcohol on here. These are various colors. Is alcohol the same as glycerin? No, it's not. So what it does is it interacts with the glycerin in a unique way. Oh man.
Weeds, drugs, we got this.
We all know some music stuff, right? It's interesting how much the music really is needed for something like this, right? What happens here is that the alcohol, I don't know,
Chips can still keep trucking like you do the whole together. This is life, just keep trucking on.
A lot of light up there. What's light without the dark, right? Am I right? Another duality. We're going to put a little dark in here.
Boy.
So everybody saw the shirt I was wearing, this kind of dirty, gross shirt. This was a white shirt when I bought it, and I wanted to make a living tie-dye. So I just kind of wipe it on my shirt. That's what it is. I wash it, I hand wash it, but it's got the shit. So be careful getting around here. Clear alcohol, all that crap, all the time.
To do the man once told me you got to have sometimes the cards are worth a dime if you don't lay them down.
When you get these things spinning, you get a whole bunch of different things going on. We got crackle, we got all kinds of stuff. Hell yeah, brother. Another classic thing that happens with the light show. You're getting to set the time, where you are, and then you have a job, you're a human being on this rock. We're all one big man. Hey, brother. My wonderful assistant and one of my wife is up here. He's been to far too many dead shows. Not a dead face. Fuck. Life is comes loud. Right? In the end. So, we clean that. This is the classic Windex. We got a bunch of wipes from not Home Depot and not Menards. We're local. Fuck them. We do another classic here. This is a lot of the stuff you buy. There's actually a scene in this whole thing now that you can buy a specific glass from a light show guy. But in classic fashion, a lot of this stuff is chemistry stuff, and I don't know how related it is to the connection of making music and hanging around LSD. I'm not totally sure that the crossover of the light show versus how much chemical things they have to do. I've got some water in here, and I realized that I do not grab all of my food. That's a really cool one. Luckily, I have everything in this nice and neat area. Purple, we're going to put that in the vegetable. That's a good one. I could ask what you guys want, but I just grabbed the first few things I saw. So you're going to get this. Hope you like it. So this is going to be some yellow and some purple. Look how that is really good. We got some purple. Opposites on the colors look great point. look at what you're doing, right? You guys are looking really cool here, but I don't know if it's working really cool there, right? So it's kind of you guys, we're putting on a clinic for liquid light show, so more do you need to know about this stuff?
You should ask
Go
him. Go up to him, he's right there.
There's a pretty big scene of this, and I started this in Chicago. We've been there for a few years, and I thought, hey, I saw this at a show floor, it was really cool, and I don't play any instruments or anything, but I want to go to shows and I want to be part of this. And turns out all you really need is no pressure checker. More people knew how easy this was, the more people would do it. It's kind of limited to what your technology you want to have, right? I'm a purist. I want to go full analog. I want to have essentially a hand puppet, right? I want to have a finger puppet between me, the thing, and the wall. But a lot of the big folks that do it, they do like a camera setup where they might have 2 or 3 different things. There's another guy in the city. Has anyone seen American Cream in Minneapolis? They're a great band. Lightshow is another guy in Minneapolis. He's got a setup where he does cameras and he can do like a mixer where you can do feedback loops and like run a VHS and have it record the same thing. So it kind of does like infinite things. That's really cool. That's a lot of gear. This is just for fun. You know, I gotta be out there tomorrow morning. So I just really want to look around here and stuff. I prefer to take it analog, keep it in things that you can actually like easy to maintain, right? You get a lot cooler. We're not cool with cool boxes. So, how are you on time? Somebody else? How about questions? All the questions are coming in. I can do more stuff. You know that? Anybody throw out a question? Let me know. At the what? Not as much as you think. Not as much as you think. It's a lot more of like, I've got the projectors that I like, and I know them, and I like to have the same pieces because a lot of times they'll break, you know, this guy. I meant to put this on and have that on the side there. What this does is it has like a slide. I've got it's like a slide projector, and then you can take pieces of glass and have like a blue alcohol in a slide, and the yellow alcohol, and the black alcohol. And you put it in there, and I've got this tinfoil that I put over the top, so it traps all the heat in there, and the oils in. That was going to go on the side. It did work. Right? These are old things. So it's good to have the same thing because, like, I only need to buy 40 of the one thing instead of not like I've got probably 10 lamps in case of both. Yeah.
I see this and I think of like special effects from the 70s and movies to try to replicate and learn stuff from.
Hey man, we do our own. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And that's kind of the bit. What I'm going to show you now is pretty much that. This is kind of that classic thing that people see when they think about liquid light shows. So what I'm going to do is I've got a big plate down here, and I'm going to put in a little bit of alcohol. I'm going to put a little bit of water in. And then I'm going to put a little bit of mineral oil on top of it.
Ooh, cool.
But like you said earlier, all we're doing, right, is we're just making it so that these things don't mix together. And I have different dyes for each of those different things. So that will give the thought you're thinking of, that classic 70s, you know, when they go to, when you watch a movie and then they do acid the first time and they're wearing the skirts and want to be in there, you know, doing that. This is going to be kind of like that. I hope we'll see. Any other questions? Got one. Yeah.
So I'm surprised that you didn't make the tie-in in talk. For those of you who might remember, this guy gave another talk about lights a couple of months ago.
It's all lights, man.
Except there were traffic lights. So I'm curious, is your expertise on traffic lights informed by the expertise that you're sharing with us tonight?
Not a single bit.
Couldn't.
Could it?
Yeah.
I thought it would be a really funny bit. So this is like your classic. Whoa, man. It really makes you feel like you're kind of sitting on a piece of butter, man. A piece of butter sitting on toast and you're just melting. How about another question while I'm playing around with this?
Maybe that answer, what's your
This is one of those things that like, I'm a traffic engineer, but like this is one of those things that like, it is such a like combination of two different worlds where it's like I find myself in the middle of both and I can't explain what the other one is to the other one. It doesn't translate at all. I spend more time explaining it than anything. My thing is just to light shows. I want people to know that I do it. I want my coworkers to know that, hey, this guy's really is a Grateful Dead. I see another question. Yeah. That's all it is. Yeah. That's a really good question. I would say take your clock off the wall, bust the thing off, and then you could very well do it on a flashlight on a wall. FPD. The first one I ever had was it was like a small unit, like a briefcase unit, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. But what it did was instead of going like from this one has a light bulb on the bottom, and it shines through and out. That one had the light bulb on top and a mirror in the bottom, so it shines through twice and then back. And I think the reason I'm saying that is because there's a huge diminishing return on how much push you have, how much like a pro, what they call it. The cool thing is that we've got like people at home crew or anything, very similar to that scene where people can get so into like, oh man, I really dig into fixing up these things. I really dig into traffic glass. I really dig into, there's so many different assets of doing this thing. And like, it's just a cool subculture of like humanity, you know? The buddies, well, I don't do it because they kind of freak out. Right. So it's kind of like a thing where I used to only practice by like doing the shows. And I thought that'd be a great way to practice it because it's such a pain to get all this stuff set up and all that type of thing. And how often do I get a costume in the middle and just kind of have a night myself, right? So I kind of did it learning on the fly, and I haven't done many shows, so I used to do it like, oh, I kind of got to actually practice. You don't usually lose them. So.
What's your take on the Aurora Borealis?
Love it. Love it. I got time to get that.
Is it about dead then? Do you think fish is copy of copy?
So I'm not a jam band guy, I'm a dead guy. I tried giving fish, I gave him an honest shake. It was cool, it was fun. I don't know, man, the lyrics are like, I'm a cat that lives in a cage, and it's, I don't know, man, that's something that means something, you know? But the scene is cool. It's a lot more dirty and grimy. You know it, I'm sure. Right? I thought you said you were about dead.
I like the dead.
I'm in your boat. Robert Hunter, all hot take, Jerry Garcia, whoa, 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 whoa. That's such a better scene than we did, but it isn't like this whole thing of like boomers turning into who saw what comedy show they saw. I'm glad to hear that you are, because when I said that 577, you were right on. Anything else? You're 72, alive only. Oh, no, I'm a Bonita guy. It depends on the day, you know? Yeah, depends on what your vibe is that day. If you're looking to get out in space, maybe. If you're looking to, you know, this isn't a Grateful Dead chat. What are we doing here? Let's talk after, because again, this whole thing feeds into this stuff. Yeah.
Do you like lava lamps?
Yes. Yep. And that's that same idea, right? It's liquid light shows, the lava lamps, and LSD. All these things were a thing for